We certainly enjoyed a jolt of warm, maybe even hot weather today. It might be the first real taste of spring.
I love the weather. I love the sunshine. I'm so much happier being outside when it's warm out.
A lot of people were happy to be outside today, whether it was for a bite outside at lunchtime or a run or a cycle down the river pathways. Enjoy it now, though. There may be another dip in the temperatures later in the week. Here's what else is making news tonight. Growing criticism, the UCP government is moving away from democratic decision-making.
They don't actually care what Albertans think.
As a giant fall referendum looms, some question whether the province will accept the results. Plus, catalytic converter theft on the rise again.
It took minutes, and they can probably do 10 a day if they wanted to.
Frustrated victims say a new law to crack down on the crime isn't working. And cleaning up illegal dumping.
It's about taking pride right where you live.
Furniture, garbage, reno materials, all of it piling up where it shouldn't.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. The successful Forever Canadian petition that's calling for Alberta to stay in Canada is facing possible delays. The question may not be put to Albertans or voted on in the legislature until after a fall referendum. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
Welcome everyone in attendance.
At the first meeting of the special committee created to review the successful Forever Canadian petition, the UCP and NDP went back and forth. They sparred over the merits of additional background material, as well as a date for the review's conclusion.
We are required to report back to the Legislative Assembly within 90 days of the proposal being referred to us.
42 out of the 90 days of the work period that we have for this committee was eaten up doing absolutely nothing.
Forever Canadian petition proponent Thomas Lukazik says the government is stalling for time.
Premier Smith does not want this committee to finish its work before this spring session of the legislature is over, so that she can give enough time for separatists to have their petition signatures collected and verified by Elections Alberta.
Although Lukazik was in the chamber today, he remained on the sidelines. The UCP Majority Committee voted down a motion for Lukazik to be allowed to explain his intentions that government officials have repeatedly called unclear. Those members say this committee is dealing with uncharted territory.
We're going to make sure that we are representing the legislature through this process, again, first of its kind, and make sure we give that the respect and the heft that it's due.
It could take one other meeting. It could take up to two. We have to let the process unfold.
After the meeting, Lukazik told media he wants his question voted on in the legislature.
Our premier is a very bright and articulate woman. She knows what both questions mean. She simply doesn't want to deal with the Forever Canadian question because it is an uncomfortable question.
The NDP says the province seems ready to include Stay Free Alberta's pro-separatist question as part of October's referendum.
They delay whenever it's a voice that they don't want to listen to, and they do whatever they want to support their friends and their insiders.
Depending on how long the committee takes, the review may not be done by the end of the spring session. In that case, it could get pushed back to after October's vote.
If the Assembly is not sitting on June 8th, the next deadline would be November 11th.
A date for the committee's next meeting has not been scheduled. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
A Calgary professor is investigating the correlation of rising hate crimes and the use of some online tools. It comes as Calgary police are investigating a potential hate crime targeting a local Muslim group. Alicia Philberg reports.
There are 7,000 Muslims on campus.
Some students are on edge after University of Calgary's Muslim Students Association received an email threatening to wipe them out.
To have us slaughtered if we don't leave Alberta and Canada. Now, as you can imagine, that was something that we took very seriously because it was a direct threat, and they mentioned that it would happen soon. The past couple of years, there's been a huge rise in Islamophobia.
Calgary Police Service does not believe there's an immediate risk, but is investigating.
We do have a team of investigators that will either look at it as a hate crime, which could involve a criminal offense, which then is investigated through police channels, possibly gets sent to a Crown prosecutor, and charges may or may not be laid.
Hate crimes have been rising in Canada, including a spike spike in anti-Jewish attacks since the Israel-Hamas conflict in 2024.
About fears for their safety in communities, walking on streets, going to synagogues, attending school.
The Senate Committee on Human Rights released its report on anti-Semitism with 22 recommendations aimed at reducing hate, including a federal task force and education programs.
Hate has no place in Canada, regardless of the community it attacks.
A Mount Royal University professor is part of a team compiling public data on terrorist attacks, foiled plots, and ideological violence to look at possible factors.
There's a timeline with social media. And then as we see the acceleration, there's also a timeline with the introduction of artificial intelligence.
He says the data suggests a strong relationship between social media use and anti-Semitism, something that historically preludes other forms of hate.
Anti-Semitism often is referred to as the canary in the coal mine. When we allow these technologies to organically grow without any guardrails. And one of the outcomes is terrorism. One of the other outcomes is school shootings. One of the other outcomes is hatred towards communities.
And Alicia joins us from UFC tonight. Alicia, what is happening following that threat?
Tara, the Muslim Students Association says that campus security patrols are being increased, especially during times of worship. Now, on a broader scale to target hate, Kelly Sundberg thinks that early data from Australia is promising. They recently banned social media for kids 16 and under. Also, that Senate Committee on Human Rights is calling on Prime Minister Mark Carney to restore 2 envoys that were ended a couple of years ago. One of them was fighting anti-Semitism and the other was fighting Islamophobia. Tara?
Interesting. Okay, Alicia, thank you. Calgary continues to have a dumping problem. The city receives nearly 100 complaints of the illegal act every day, and offenders can be hit with hefty fines. From tossed toys to couches and beds left in back alleys, it's keeping crews busy. Jordan Canagan reports.
It's been a constant crunch. City of Calgary crews are on cleanup duty yet again.
My ward was the dumping ground for illegal dumping.
Communities in the Northeast are seeing a high number of complaints for illegal dumping, but it's not the only area in the city with the problem.
It is happening across the city. It's vacant lands, it's alleys, it's ditches, it's commercial properties in their dumpsters. It's behind people's properties. It is definitely occurring across the city.
Whether it's a sofa tossed near a storm pond or a box spring left in a back alley for weeks, it's not allowed under the city's bylaws.
If we don't remove garbage, it's just going to attract more garbage. It's like a broken window theory, right? We want to keep our city clean, vibrant, so our kids and everybody can enjoy it. And parks are for everyone to enjoy.
30,000 dumping complaints were filed last year alone, keeping city crews busy year-round.
What I want to assure them is, I'm your neighbor, I'm your friend, and none of us want our community to be littered with all this dumping, and we will do anything and everything to kind of eliminate that.
If you are caught dumping your garbage, fines can reach up to $10,000. Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
The city is hosting more than 100 community cleanup events through spring and summer, with the first taking place this weekend. The program allows people to get rid of large household items for free. For a link to locations and dates, you can go to our website, ctvnewscalgary.ca. Some perfect weather this afternoon for golfers to hit the course for the first time this year. 3 city-owned golf courses open for the season today: Maple Ridge, McCall Lake, and Shaganappi Point. The Shaganappi driving range also opened with full club access. Officials were hoping to get the courses open by the start of the month, but some weather delays and some early preparation pushed back first tee times a few weeks. It should also be a stable year on the fairways after some upgrades to Shaganappi Point last year.
As the weather cooperates, it's going to get a little drier, firmer, faster, and a little bit greener as the irrigation systems get fired up. But yeah, what you're going to see today is what we'll see for 2026.
325,000 people teed off on a golf course last year, and that demand caused some technical problems with the online booking system. Faber says they've made some upgrades in the off-season, and they're hoping for fewer issues this year. Great day. Hit some balls, even if you couldn't get a tee time. Hit the driving range, Danielle.
Yeah, hit anything outdoors, basically, because yesterday, we had
phenomenal weather, well above normal, very summer-like, you could say. Stable, winds calm, sunshine out. We got to 22 degrees today. We're now sitting at 20 as we start to cool off for the day. Winds still relatively calm, gusts around 30 kilometers per hour. It's a very different story. So this is one of the times to really pay attention to the forecast you're prepared for tomorrow, because tomorrow's a much colder day. We have a cold wind gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour out of the north. We're going to have temperatures drop throughout the day rather than warm. So by the afternoon, just 4 degrees, and this comes with rain, heavy at times, 5 to 7 millimeters of it. More details coming up, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Still to come, a lot of us Google medical symptoms, but do you take any medical advice that you see online when you're feeling unwell? We'll tell you what doctors say about that next. The province yesterday announced it was bypassing the results of a 2021 referendum and moving ahead to change the way we adjust our clocks. Now, with a raft of referenda questions set for the fall, it raises the question of how much weight those results will carry and what that means for what the Premier calls direct democracy. Kevin Green reports.
Monday, the UCP government announced it was doing away with time changes, overturning the results of a 2021 referendum, one the province had said was binding. It's a change the opposition says points to a bigger issue.
So they don't actually care what Albertans think. And the best example of this is daylight savings time. That actually went to a referendum and it failed, and the Premier's doing it anyway. So this should actually alarm all of us.
The minister who announced the province is now ignoring that referendum says the results are no longer relevant.
So the facts on the ground have changed, and so we have to make a decision accordingly.
Now, Calgarians we spoke to wonder why the province is set to spend over $20 million on a set of fall referenda if the results might be ignored.
If they don't like the answer, they'll just change it, and why waste the dollars of the taxpayer, our time, and everything? If you're just going to change everything, just do it and not waste our time and tell us we're not free. And
I think a lot of people in the province are concerned that the provincial government is just kind of doing whatever they want. I think they feel kind of untouchable right now.
Tuesday, the government announced it's setting aside recommendations made by the Electoral Boundaries Commission, opting instead to let a cabinet committee decide on how and where Albertans will vote.
The motion is just a tool that we've made available to ourselves should it be necessary. But we do need to get through this debate so that we can move on to other legislation.
That could have a big effect on how cities are represented, and it worries Calgary's mayor.
And I would say that it is concerning that instead of accepting the findings of that majority report, that instead they're moving to a more partisan approach. Central to me, though, is just representation for Calgary. I do not want to see our representation further diluted.
The watchdog agency Democracy Watch says Alberta is moving away from core democratic principles.
The Alberta government has been sending very clear signs that are dangerously undemocratic in the past several years.
And Kevin joins us now. Kevin, Democracy Watch is actually using some pretty strong language in speaking about the state of our province's government.
They are, Tara. Now, to be clear, Duff Conacher from Democracy Watch says this isn't just an Alberta problem. The same thing is happening across the political spectrum, but he says it's amplified here in Alberta. He likens what's happening in our province to a miniature version of what's happening in the Trump United States. I should note, he also believes that what the province is doing about the Electoral Boundaries Commission is not just, in his words, wrong, it's illegal, and he says Democracy Watch is prepared to take the province to court over it.
Okay, Kevin Green reporting. Kevin, thank you. The Northwest Territories is now following Alberta's lead in ditching twice-a-year clock changes. Premier R.J. Simpson announced the move today, noting his residents have supported the move in the past. Northwest Territories and Alberta currently share the same time zone, and Simpson says it only makes sense to have it stay that way. The Territory is now working with other jurisdictions and industry to require a smooth transition, which will get underway shortly. Catalytic converter thefts are on the rise, according to police. 90 have been reported since the start of the year. Thieves are after a quick buck, but it has become harder for many to cash in because of anti-theft legislation. Here's Tyson Fedor.
For Colton Williamson's young family, their SUV is crucial to their way of life. Earlier this year, their vehicle was targeted by thieves. The catalytic converter was cut from under their vehicle, and it was all caught on camera.
It's violating in a way if it's right outside your home, and there's nothing we could have done in that way, and it was quick, a few minutes, and yeah, there's just nothing you could really do to prevent that, really.
It took the prowlers less than 4 minutes before they drove away.
The whole situation's quite frustrating, right? You're out of money out of pocket, obviously. You know, we're out of a car for a month, and especially with a newborn, you know, we're having to drive to different appointments and sharing a vehicle.
But the Williamsons are just one of dozens of victims this year who have been targeted by criminals. 90 catalytic converters have been reported stolen to police in 2026, a concerning trend for investigators.
Rhodium is starting to leap up in price, and so that's what's leading kind of the rise in it, the money that people can get from it, or perceived money they think they can get from it.
Police say the rise in thefts are happening everywhere, but are especially impacting areas around McMahon Stadium. Investigators suggest installing anti-theft devices on converters, engraving them, and choose secure areas to park. They also say all thefts need to be reported. The city updated its business bylaw in 2023 aimed at salvage collectors and yards, along with auto centers, ordering them not to deface or remove any identifying markers on the converters. They also cannot accept any defaced or damaged catalytic converters.
It's difficult to identify whether it has been stolen or not, and so they have to ask some questions, but sometimes it's quite difficult.
3 years ago, Cal Tire partnered with police to engrave vehicle identification numbers on converters to deter criminals. The initial blitz saw thousands participate, and the business says that program is still being offered.
It's definitely slow. There's not many people coming in. We do still provide the service, so if anybody wants to come into a Cal Tire and get the engraving done, they can do that through appointment basis, especially during the busy time of year.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Calgary police are still investigating Williamson's case. No arrests have been made. Calgary police are warning drivers to slow down and pay attention to their surroundings. It comes as more motorcycles are now hitting the roads with this nice weather. Yesterday, the driver of a dirt bike lost control and crashed into a tree in the community of Valley Ridge. He was rushed to hospital with serious injuries.
This last couple of days, we've certainly seen an increase in motorcycles. My advice to them is absolutely slow down. There is a ton of gravel out on the road that still hasn't been cleared up, and that will take you off your bike quite quickly.
As for other drivers, Woodward suggests being extra cautious, checking for motorcyclists during lane changes or turns. Monday's crash was the first serious motorcycle collision of the year. Last year, there were 6 motorcycle fatalities.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Bring Danielle back in now. We had a great day today, but this isn't going to last forever.
No. So yesterday's high was 22. Today's high in the city, also 22. This came with stable weather. So sunshine, calm winds. They have picked up a little bit, but overall it's been a really fantastic 2 days. This is one of the weeks where we get all the weather and all the seasons, and I want to make sure you're prepared for it, because we have nothing like, in the forecast here, nothing like what we had today and yesterday. So check out this though. 24 degrees right now in Lethbridge, 26 in Medicine Hat. So most communities in the southeast corner got into the mid-20s today. Calgary got to 22, and now we're starting to just fall a little bit for the day as it cools down. 22 right now in Pincher Creek. Winds today, pretty calm. Yeah, they picked up a little bit over the last couple of hours, but 30 km/h gusts, that's nothing. In Lethbridge, Pincher Creek as well. Now for tomorrow, Lethbridge over to Medicine Hat, 80 km/h gusts possible. For Calgary over to Brooks, 60 km/h gusts. This is out of the north. It will be a cold wind. So yes, windy tomorrow. And we're also looking at a good amount of rain. At least it's in the form of rain and not snow, which is what we're seeing later this week. As I said, all the seasons. All right, right now in Calgary, we do have some cloud cover increasing. The winds are picking up a little bit. It is ahead of this system that is moving in, and this one is packed with moisture as well, but it's not going to drop the temperatures as significantly as we had with the last round when we saw that snow. So it's a rain event for Calgary with this system. All right, there's the jet stream. It's going to shift down to the south. This upper level trough is going to develop, and this low is really going to strengthen. That's why the winds are going to pick up ahead of this. and that's why we are looking at a decent amount of rain as this really starts to develop on our side of the Rockies. So as we head through, the key thing is, yes, we do have the chance of a few isolated showers out there for this evening, but nothing significant. Tomorrow, though, all cloud cover. By 8 a.m., it looks like the rain will start to pick up in Calgary, and it could be quite intense at times as well. Looking at around that noon hour is when we will likely have the most intense rain, so late morning, early afternoon. This does clear out for the supper hours, but we still have the potential for isolated showers by that point. And to the west, so Banff and higher elevations, looking at a snow event by late day tomorrow. All right, then for Thursday, pretty stable, but later in the day, because of the instability behind the system that we've just had by this point, we have the potential of a little bit of pop-up flurries. But the real significant snow will be Friday and Saturday. So check this out. 12 degrees will be our high for tomorrow, but that's at midnight. We're actually going to drop throughout the day. By the afternoon, just 4 degrees, 5 to 7 millimeters of rain possible, plus very gusty. Stable for much of Thursday. Late day around the supper hours, precipitation possible, only a high of 4. Friday and Saturday, a high below the freezing mark. 5 centimeters of snow possible on Friday and another 1 to 3 possible on Saturday. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
When it comes to getting quick medical advice, more and more Canadians are turning to AI tools like ChatGPT. But doctors are once again warning about the dangers, saying it can do more harm than good and put patients at risk. Here's CTV's John Vinivaly-Rao.
I can do almost anything that could possibly be asked of me.
In videos posted by the Canadian Medical Association, doctors can be seen urging caution about the use of AI.
Do you ever use ChatGPT for health advice?
Something a lot of people do when they have a medical issue.
I think it's just a quick way to get a little bit of quick advice.
If my back starts hurting, I'm just going to go on ChatGPT, for example, and I'm going to be like, I did this and my back hurts. And then it's going to start giving me a whole list of things, and I'm just like, okay.
But physicians warning, while often free and fast, the advice can also be wrong.
If individuals decide to go online, I would say they have to be very curious and very cautious.
In a survey of more than 600 Canadian doctors, 97% said they'd had to intervene to prevent harm or address consequences after a patient followed false or misleading health information online, including from an AI.
So the problems are that the patient thinks they have one diagnosis when in fact they don't. They may have delayed treatment. They may have tried treatments that didn't work.
Some say they've turned to an AI because they don't have a family doctor.
I have a friend who would ask ChatGPT. Her reasoning was it's too much hassle to go, like book a doctor's appointment.
But the Canadian Medical Association says patients should always get a human expert to weigh in. In a recent study published in the journal BMJ Open, health questions were posed to 5 major AI models. 30% of the responses were deemed somewhat problematic. 20% were considered highly problematic.
They're not always accurate, and your best bet is to talk to a health professional or at least understand the sources when you're online looking for information.
And while AIs continue to rapidly improve, experts say they still struggle to reason like a human doctor. John Vinivaly-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Officials say a deadly attack in Mexico Monday was planned. One Canadian woman was killed. More than a dozen other visitors were injured. What else? We're learning about the shooting tonight. And a Lethbridge artist is flying high after his painted goalie mask is worn in an NHL game. That's still to come. Residents of a community in northeastern BC have been ordered out of their homes because of a landslide. Emergency officials say it is an active slide with risk to safety. About 150 people live in the community of Old Fort. This is the same area where landslides occurred in 2018 and 2020. We have more details tonight about the mass shooting yesterday at a popular tourist site near Mexico City. A gunman went on a rampage, killing a Canadian woman, wounding another Canadian and 12 other visitors. Authorities say the attack was not spontaneous. The shooter came prepared, and now there are videos circulating on social media. CTV's Adrian Gobriel reports.
Gunshots can be heard piercing through the air as screams echo from the base of the Teotihuacan pyramids as tourists run for cover. This all taking place at one of the most popular tourist destinations on the planet. The shooting was initially reported at 11:20 a.m. on Monday. This web camera recording of the historic site shows the first moments as visitors began to run for their lives. Let's go. A closer look shows the gunman pacing, holding the .38 caliber firearm he used to kill one Canadian. The deadly attack injuring at least 13 more, including a 29-year-old Canadian woman and a 6-year-old boy from Colombia. The Teotihuacan pyramids are located here, roughly 45 kilometers northeast of Mexico City, making it a popular day trip from Mexico's capital. The shooter has been identified as 27-year-old Julio Cesar Yasso of Mexico. Seen here carrying a backpack, Mexican authorities say inside they found pamphlets related to an infamous U.S. mass shooting.
Got a shooting up here at the Columbine High School.
The Monday attack coinciding with the April 1999 anniversary of the Columbine High School massacre in Colorado, where 2 students opened fire, killing 13 classmates and 1 teacher. Today, Mexico's president shared her condolences with the family of the Canadian killed, as did Prime Minister Mark Carney.
We're working with Mexican authorities on the situation, but it's a sad day.
It's a day that many witnesses who survived are still coming to terms with.
Some of the tourists started screaming, ducking, and running.
While some ran, others jumped to a landing below, alongside the pyramid.
We kind of try to hold on with our hands and kind of extend our full body length and then let ourselves drop from there.
Following roughly 10 minutes of terror, the Mexican National Guard shot Ramirez in the leg as he climbed near the pyramid's peak. That's where he turned the weapon on himself and took his own life. With Mexico set to co-host the upcoming FIFA World Cup alongside the United States and Canada, there are now calls for tighter security measures in that country. Ottawa is calling on a prompt and thorough investigation. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Toronto.
In the Middle East, the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran was set to expire tomorrow, but Donald Trump has now decided to extend the truce at the request of Pakistan, which has been acting as a mediator. The U.S. president posted this on Truth Social this afternoon, saying, in part, "We have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. I have therefore directed our military to continue the blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able, and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded one way or the other." A mountain of ice attracted hundreds of people in Toronto. It was put there by a Canadian rap superstar. We'll tell you why next. Airbrush artist from Lethbridge who designs and paints goalie masks is being featured now on the national stage. This is Brendan Stewart. He turned his garage into his art studio. As a former goalie himself, he says he used to love decorating his own masks with stickers, but then he learned how to airbrush. Just 4 years in, Stewart's latest project has been featured now on the national stage. Colorado Avalanche goalie Scott Wedgwood wore his mask for the first time during a game against the Flames last week.
Looking at my girlfriend at the glass and seeing him skating around in it, and just, it was surreal. It was just so cool to see the art come to life on the ice, for his story to be worn, to be shared.
Stewart dedicated about 170 hours to that project. Before that, Stewart had his skills displayed on a skeleton helmet for Team Canada's Joseph Brusick at the Winter Olympics in Italy.
We've got a lot
cool
of
artwork.
Good artists around this area.
Yeah, we really
here
do.
in Calgary, yeah, really good. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, a new stunt from Canadian rapper Drake drew quite a crowd in downtown Toronto.
I was watching it on Twitter and everything like that yesterday. People trying to burn it, people trying to smash it down. It's awesome.
This album, Iceman, has been teased for so long, and everyone's eager to, for it to release.
Okay, so it's a massive ice sculpture. Somewhere inside is the release date of Drake's next album titled Iceman. At one point, hundreds of people showed up, some with tools and even fire to chip away at the ice. Toronto police were called in to manage the crowd, and then this. So the mystery thawed when this guy hammered into the frozen block and emerged with a package. He then fled in a vehicle and later produced this image, claiming the much anticipated release date will be May 15th.
Very creative.
It is. It got people talking.
Yeah.
It sure did.
I like the weathery touch of it all.
Yeah, of course.
For sure.
Well, when you're traveling, you have to get used to local customs. All right, what's with all the ironing boards? This is Belgium, and the person who shot this video was like, what is going on? Do they love doing laundry or what's happening? No, They use them as tables. They take them to outdoor parties and raves. They're light, they're foldable, they're easy to transport. You can take them on transit. You can obviously ride your bike.
This is the creative section.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually so simplistically brilliant. You just take your ironing board to the party with you, and you've got a table.
Gosh, I could bring that to my son's ball games.
Yes.
Just serve up a picnic.
Try that this summer, Danielle.
Yep.
You'll be the hit of the ballpark.
Why does she always have an ironing board?
Well, this sweet Canadian treat looks even more delightful under the microscope. If you think maple syrup is one of Canada's most magical exports, you are right. And this is what it looks like up close. All that sugar kind of creates a kaleidoscope of color. Isn't that neat?
Who knew?
Looks magical.
Yeah.
Looks as good as it tastes.
Yeah.
That is so neat.
Now I'm craving pancakes.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of voices weighing in on the possibility of Alberta separation. It seems that at least some of them are fake. We'll take a closer look.
Okay, Skywatch weather camera. The sun is about to set on a stunning day today. I hope that you were able to either enjoy yesterday, today, or both, as we got to 22 degrees both these days. And the sun was out and the winds have been relatively calm. It's been stunning, and we're not going to see this kind of weather at all for the rest of the week. In fact, we're looking at rain, heavy at times, and then we're looking at snow later this week. All right, we did get to 22 again last 2 days in the city, but all the warmth, as you can see, in Alberta and Saskatchewan, much cooler out east and not even close. Victoria, Vancouver, just at 15. So here's a look at the current temperatures. Mid-20s still in Medicine Hat, Milk River, and Lethbridge and Brooks and Drumheller at 24 degrees right now. Calgary, we're down to 20 at the moment. The winds have been calm, as I said, just 30 kilometer per hour gusts, Calgary, Lethbridge and Pincher Creek, and that's going to pick up. So 60 kilometer per hour gusts in Calgary tomorrow and 80 for Lethbridge over to Medicine Hat ahead of the system. Okay, so we already have some pockets of rain entering Red Deer. We have the potential for an isolated shower for the late evening hours in Calgary. Clouds are already increasing. For tomorrow, the temperature will drop throughout the day rather than warm. At the midnight hour, we'll be around 12. By 8 a.m., we'll be at 9 degrees, and by the afternoon at 4. Rain will be heavy at times, especially late morning and early afternoon. We're looking at anywhere from 5 to 7 millimeters of it. Gusts will pick up from 40 kilometers per hour to 60 by the afternoon. That's your 24-hour forecast, brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. All right, it's calmer and quiet for Salmon Arm, Kamloops, Kelowna, Fernie looking at rain from Edmonton down through Red Deer, all down the QE2 tomorrow. Again, heavy at times. 12 degrees is the high, but again, these are all highs for the morning hours, and then temperatures will fall throughout the day. Medicine Hat won't see the rain till late day tomorrow, but it will be windy again, 80 kilometer per hour gusts and a high of 21 there. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. Calgary police are investigating a potential hate crime targeting a local Muslim group. University of Calgary's Muslim Students Association received an email threatening them if they didn't leave Canada. A Mount Royal University professor is part of a team compiling public data looking at factors that may influence the rise in hate crimes. There is an increase in people dumping their trash on public or private property. It comes as the city is organizing community cleanup events that start this weekend. And the Alberta government is moving forward with the plan to redraw Alberta's electoral boundaries. The move does not follow recommendations made by the Electoral Boundaries Commission. Misleading and inauthentic information about Alberta separation is making the rounds on social media. What's most concerning is how coordinated the campaign is and the millions and millions of views. CTV's Kathy Lee takes a look.
At 74 years old, the Southern Albertan supports separation, saying it's the best for the province's future.
I think for our younger generation and our grandkids, I think it would be a good thing.
Joe Trotz emphasizes that most supporters are calling for independence, not annexation.
99% of the people don't want to be the 51st state of the USA.
But a new report identifies a network of about 20 YouTube channels posing as Albertan voices, pushing U.S. annexation and Alberta separation. Researchers say they're not real and appear coordinated, using the same scripts, the same clips, and even posting at the same time, together reaching nearly 40 million views.
Some of the channels have actual AI body and avatars performing the content, and some just have AI voiceovers.
The videos often use real news about Alberta separation, but distort and exaggerate the grievances, and sometimes getting the facts wrong.
Anybody promoting, U.S. annexation or U.S. statehood, they're not part of our movement.
The report suggests the goal is to drive attention and influence.
This is a very important year in Alberta, with the idea of a provincial referendum on the ballot being potentially held in the fall. It's important for Albertans and Canadians broadly to know which voices are real and which are fake.
In response, Elections Alberta says a new unit is being established to track all forms of deep fakes, misinformation, and disinformation. YouTube says it's reviewing the channels and will remove content that violates its rules. Ken Williams, who opposes separation, worries about outside influence.
There are players, I think, that are taking advantage of chaos, amping it up in order to manipulate voting.
Trotz also rejected the messaging in the videos.
Totally think that's wrong. I mean, facts are facts. Let them speak for themselves, good or bad.
The report can't confirm who's behind the network or where it originates, saying the evidence is still unclear. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Crowsnest Pass, Alberta.
Some Canadian companies are eligible for refunds of American tariffs. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez explains.
Washington collected about $160 billion in tariffs that the U.S. Supreme Court later deemed illegal. Walmart's filing a claim. It's owed an estimated $10 billion. Nike could get $1 billion refund. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says about a third of Canadian exporters paid hefty tariffs because their goods did not qualify under the CUSMA exemption. Refund claims go through U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.15. West Texas Intermediate is up over $2 to 89.67. Western Canadian Select up over $3 to 68.48. And the TSX lost 551 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
They say competition is healthy in business, but when the owners of a deli near Edmonton had a problem with the machine, it was their competitors who reached out with a helping hand. Here's Miriam Valdez-Carletti.
Brickhouse Smokery is back in business now that their meat grinder is up and running.
One of my staff accidentally went, after cleaning it, put it back together backwards, which doesn't usually happen.
That mistake left the deli almost cooked.
Well, we rely on it Monday to Friday. Yeah, so it's a huge part of our shop. We do tend to run out of work very quickly without that piece of equipment.
Brickhouse Smokery owner Trevor Wilhock says replacement parts would take weeks to come from Germany. Instead, he called an unlikely place, his competitor, Grove City Meats, around the corner.
I called him, told him what happened, and he just said, enough said, just bring it down. I'll grind it.
I'm not ever going to say no, just because it's community and that's what it's all about.
For 2 weeks, staff at Brickhouse Smokery brought around 3,000 to 4,000 pounds of meat to put in this grinder at Grove City Meats.
That was the only option, actually, was to take our products down there, and he didn't hesitate.
Mistakes happen, and you just got to make sure you don't make that mistake again.
That kindness has been the link between their shops for years.
This past Thanksgiving, I ran out of casing for my pepperoni, so I asked Trevor if I can come get a box of pepperoni casings so I could keep rolling so I could have enough for the next day.
As a thank you, Wilhock purchased $1,000 worth of gift cards to share with his customers, flowing new business between the two butchers.
I think they were just a little surprised, but then when they realize why, they get it. And they're like, perfect. They're on their way up the street.
It's always going to be like, what do you need or what do I need? And it's just going to be back and forth, and that will always kind of happen.
A rare friendship for many years to come. In Spruce Grove, Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News.
Pretty great. Someone made an unusual delivery to a prison in BC. An investigation is underway after someone tried to sneak contraband into the prison in Mission. Mounties say they used a package disguised as a patch of grass. They believe someone dropped it from a drone on the grounds of the Mission institution. The package contained more than 300 grams of suspected methamphetamine, along with an iPhone and razor blades. The CFL draft is just around the corner. Glenn will take a look at what the Stamps are looking for when the season starts. With the World Cup countdown about to hit 50 days tomorrow, FIFA has announced one more round of ticket sales. FIFA's last-minute sales phase will go live tomorrow. Tickets for all matches will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. CFL teams get to build for the future next week. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn, is the CFL Canadian Draft.
Tara, the CFL Canadian Draft will be going next Tuesday. It's a time for teams to stockpile Canadian talent and get better for the future. This is an exciting time for CFL teams. Training camps open up on May 10th, and the CFL Draft will be held next Tuesday.
I like the CFL Draft because that's kind of what makes start of the season for us. So whenever you know the draft is coming and it's on the heels, you know the CFL season is right around the corner. And it's also fun to get some fresh new faces and see where you can make your team better.
The CFL Draft is an important one for teams because it helps them load up on Canadian talent and meet the mandatory roster ratio of 20-plus Canadian national players, including 7 starters.
If you can get a young player that you know you can keep in-house for a reasonable rate for 3 years, I think that can really change the fortunes of your team and put you in a great position.
The Stamps will have the 6th overall pick at this year's draft, and Dickinson feels they're in much better shape compared to last year when they had the 1st overall pick and went with receiver Damian Alford and selected offensive lineman Chris Fortin with the 8th overall pick.
We had some holes. We definitely weren't the team we needed to be going into last year, and we found some great players. But this year we do have a little bit more depth, so the competition will be greater. But yeah, I want a starter with the 6th overall pick, a guy that can develop into a starter within his 1st or 2nd year.
In all, the Stamps will have 8 picks at this year's CFL Draft. 2 were lost due to trades.
I mean, we lost our 2nd round in Vernon. We made a trade to get some pass rush in the 4th, and so we certainly we're going to be waiting a bit. We don't have a 2nd or a 4th round pick, which a lot of good players are still found there, but we've been able to find some other solid picks later on. Example, Ludovic Chiquette, 6th round last year.
The Stamps kick off the preseason against the Saskatchewan Roughriders on May the 18th. Then they're in Edmonton for their final preseason game on May 29th. They'll host the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on June 5th for their first regular season game. Gotta love it. Football's right around the corner.
I'm sure somebody was outside throwing a football today.
I'm sure. Beautiful.
Lots of people.
Yeah.
But you know what else is right around the corner, everybody?
Snow?
Yeah. And we'll kick it off with a bunch of rain tomorrow. So this is just give you an indication of what communities can expect what. For Calgary specifically, 5 to 7 millimeters is possible. So it's one of those gloomy, rainy, cool days, very windy, gusts 60 kilometers per hour. That's out of the north. A high of 12, yes, but that will be at midnight, and then we'll fall throughout the day rather than increase in temperature. And then Thursday, pretty stable, but late day precipitation possible around those supper hours. And then by Friday, 5 centimeters of snow and a high of -1. So we got the all the seasons in our 5-day forecast, all of it. Okay, Wayne Oliver sent this one in, and I'm going to remove the banner now. Took this in Pincher Creek on the 18th. And this is the crescent moon and Venus.
Beautiful.
Really cool, hey? Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate.
Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.